So I'm gonna show you guys this video here, and I hope this really explains how we live in a capitalist dictatorship, because this is state TV from CNN, and David Schroeder don't understand this, but you don't have to have executives from Fox News. You don't have to have executives from MSNBC and CNN twirl their mustaches in the room like David Schroeder thinks we believe. They have the same capitalist interest, so they don't even need a script. They just gotta make sure they follow the pattern outlined in manufacturer consent, where you don't accidentally leak a socialist on here. You gotta make sure you have a program filled with capitalists, and they will naturally follow the capitalist agenda. So anyway, let me make sure the audio is on here. I always forget to put the button, and then I'll play the video, and then you guys can react to it. Here it is.
A rail strike is one of the most disruptive and expensive things that can happen to an economy.
A rail shutdown or strike would disrupt supply chains.
A strike means food prices could skyrocket.
Many experts are saying would be an economic catastrophe.
That could mean a big shortage and massive price hikes. Even gas prices could increase.
And it also could cost the economy $1 billion within the first week.
That would cripple the economy.
I'm not setting aside the concerns of your members, but are you and your members willing to stop the rails, in effect, and accept those costs to the U.S. economy?
Do you believe a strike is worth it if it cripples the U.S. economy and costs up to $2 billion a day?
More than $2 billion per day.
Is it worth it?
And on top of all of that, the holidays are right around the corner.
It's a little less than a month right before Christmas here.
Especially right before the holidays.
President Biden warning, if that happened, it would devastate the economy if we had a strike like that. So joining me now to talk about this and a lot more is Bank of America. It's Brian Moynihan, chairman.
What the fuck? I didn't see that shit. So now joining me, is one of the biggest capitalists in the nation. Let's go to him. Here we go. What kind of clown shit is this, Nick? I did not see that last part. I don't know why I didn't see that shit. Oh, you're muted. You're muted still. You got to click.
We have a wide audience here, but I got nudged. We got people who got different political beliefs. But when you see this, I am asking you guys this question: why are you not a Marxist? Right? They are waging class war against us.
What?
Meanwhile, you guys are propping up capitalism. I just always got to throw that out there. Now let's get to some things they say. They say, according to experts. Who is the experts? Captains and leaders of industry who's arguing on behalf of their class interest. So then they're like, all right, let's bring on one of those experts, CEO of Bank of America, a great spokesperson for the workers.
This is clown shit, man. This is crazy.
It's so crazy. CJ, you have anything that you want to add? It is like the only thing I can do is laugh because it's so ridiculous.
This
like
is
this is how
crazy.
I cope. Like, laughing is how I cope with this shit, guys. But go ahead, CJ.
No, I had similar receipts, but that one kind of put them all together. Like I had those clips that were clipped together, like the longer versions, but I like it better where you can see all of them are doing it. They're all shielding. Nobody is asking the worker, like, How come no rail worker? How come there's not tons of rail workers? Now, I think they've interviewed one. I think I've seen one. They keep interviewing union bosses as if they represent the rail workers, and when they don't, most of the time they're the ones that's trying to push the rail workers to accept these sellout deals. And we'll go to World Socialist website in just a second that proves that with a couple of articles. Go ahead. Did you have another?
You can share any other receipts you have on this story, and then I have another short story we can do after this. After the rail story. Anything else you want to add, CJ?
Yeah. Let me go to the. Second here. So the World Socialist website, I thought it didn't have it up, but I do have it up already. So right here, just want to read a couple of things here from this item here. Let's put this up. Breaking sales. Let's put that up so I know where to cut. It makes it easier for me to edit, pull clips. All right, so what Biden and Congress move to ban railroad strike reveals. This is important. I'm waiting for them to drop the story about the squad voting for it, but we'll see. The move by Washington to override a clear vote by railroaders to reject a White House brokered contract and impose it unilaterally is a major assault on the basic democratic rights of the working class. It is also a strategic experience, the lessons of which workers must learn. Let's see. After 3 years of endless rounds of government-mandated mediation imposed on railroaders by the Anti-Worker Railroad Labor Act, and after an early settlement that government and union bureaucracy sought to enforce in a vote subject to endless delays and marred by serious irregularities, that is, workers were finally set to launch a national strike on December 9th. That's next week. Or a little more than a week, about 10 days from now. Workers face brutal employers who refuse to budge on essential and basic demands, such as paid sick leave. Workers currently have none at all, and scheduling that allows them to spend time with their families. Sorry, let me turn the light up on here so I can see this better. All right, there we go. Instead, the Biden administration and Congress are moving rapidly to ban strike action and impose the deal. Biden announced Monday night that he would seek congressional intervention, and he met with congressional leaders Tuesday morning. A vote in Congress where the move is supported by leadership of both parties could take place as soon as Wednesday morning, and we know that vote has taken place. That was the breaking news, that the squad has voted on it in the House. Voted with the for it in the House. The struggle of railroaders to win their demands have proved two fundamental elements of Marxism. This is the reason why I wanted to cover this, which lays at the heart of its theory of class struggle. First, it demonstrates the correctness of the labor theory of value, that the source of all society's wealth is the labor of the working class. That is so important. Let me read that again. And let me actually start here, because we may clip this. The struggle of railroaders to win their demands has proved two fundamental elements of Marxism, which lay at the heart of its theory of class struggle. So this is the first fundamental element of Marxism that is proving. First, it demonstrates the correctness of the labor theory of value, that the source of all society's wealth. Listen to this: the source of all, not some.
Yeah, this is a great article. I need to read
the source of all society's wealth is the labor of the working class. Yes. And the source of profits is the surplus value extracted from the exploitation of workers. This is the economic source of exploitation in capitalist society. There's no way of getting around this. What they did, they cited a long time ago. This vital artery of capitalism can't be left up to some willy-nilly workers. So let's do this Railroad Act. This right here is proving the power that we have to shut this entire nation down and get every single demand. Not a negotiation, Nick. You see this?
Yep,
the source of all society's wealth is the labor of the working class.
All society's wealth, all of it.
Go ahead, Nick. If you
now do you guys see? And I'll keep it quick, and I'll pass it to you, CJ. Now do you guys see why Republicans and hell, some liberals too, I bet, is all for banning Marxism in schools? You guys see why they had to do this Red Scare to trick the American people to vote against their best interests? That is what capitalism leads you. It leads you to thinking that you're some sort of capitalist. They think you're a capitalist even though you don't own capital. How does that make sense? You're a capitalist with no capital. You're an exploited worker, you mother. That is what the American people have been brainwashed to think. And this is why they don't teach you Marxism. Because if you know Marxism,
it's an exploited worker you give a lot of jewels to. An exploited worker you give a car. Exploited worker you give a lot of jewels to, and they don't understand. They're exploited. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna force you guys to use any labels. I like the wide opinions that we get on RBN. But if you want the people that upset with the road management and you're tired of workers being screwed, why aren't you a Marxist? This is the only thing I'm just asking. Anyway, go ahead, CJ. Just ask yourself that question as you read this stuff. Do you agree with what this person is saying here? I'm not saying you had to call yourself a Marxist. You had to go full-fledged. You had to get the fucking commie flag like we have. But at least be supportive of our movement. Help us normalize what being a Marxist is. Because I promise you, the majority of people agree with Marxist tenets. Majority of people, if they read this and they're exposed to this idea, they will be sympathetic to it. That's why I easily converted to Marxism, because even before I called myself a Marxist, I was a Marxist. I read Marxist theory. I'm like, oh shit, this is what I always believed. But now
that's the feeling you have when you read a lot of this. It's a feeling you have. Go ahead, Nick. Sorry to cut you off.
No, it's all good. That's my thought. I'll pass to you. CJ.
Yeah. So for those that may not, what I want to inspire, just to go check it out. Go beyond what they're telling you about communism, about Marxism. Go beyond what they're telling you. Just go read it for yourself. See what their analysis is. The reason for the attack is for a reason, because capitalists have read all of his books.
Yep.
They know he is spot on. That's the reason why they has to be attacked. They know this. They ain't stupid.
That's why they got killed Marxists in the global South. Why didn't they do Operation Condor? Because they know how
the Black Panthers are Marxists.
Yes. Go ahead, CJ.
So
that's a great point.
Let's go to the other point that the article makes. We'll go to the second point it makes, and then we'll move on, because it's very important that
I'll be right back.
Marxist analysis. Go ahead. Earlier this year, during arguments before a federal mediation board, the railroad arrogantly argued that the railroaders' labor did not contribute to their profit. That is so absurd. But Monday, 400 businesses groups penned a letter demanding Congress act to prevent a strike, warning warning of apocalyptic economic consequences if railroaders stop working. Now, let's pause there and examine that. This is so important. Earlier this year, during arguments before a federal mediation board, so a mediation board, a mediation between the union and the workers and the company, arrogantly argued that the workers, the railroaders, their labor, they didn't contribute to their profits. How ridiculous is that? That's what they said. But this past Monday, 400 business groups penned a letter demanding Congress act to prevent a strike, warning that an apocalyptic economic consequences if those workers stop working. How can both be true? How can that be true? Let's see here. Let's go to this next part. Let me scroll down. This is just amazing. And I love this article. But in the United States, the most socially unequal of all the advanced economies, cults of personalities are developed around celebrity billionaires who are promoted as job creators. And I would add in politicians like AOC and all of them. I would add them into this cult of personalities are developed around celebrity. Instead of billionaires, we can just insert politicians. But all of these people are socially useless. The country can function without them, but not without the railroaders, without the workers. So key. Love this article. It is no accident that the most profitable industry in the U.S. is also home to some of the worst working conditions. Through continuous job cuts, forced overtime, and other methods, massive levels of surplus value are pumped out of railroaders' labor by the hedge fund managers and billionaires who own the industry. This profit is turned finance stocks buybacks. This profit in turn finances stock buybacks and other speculative and parasitic activity. Love it. Parasitic activity. Secondly, this is the second thing, and then we'll close this, Nick. But this is so important for our audience and for us to
Yeah,
discuss.
this is a great article. Well,
Yes.
just for the new viewers, can you say? I see a few people asking, what article is this and where from?
Oh, let me
Just
go
for-
back up,
Just for people who just tuned in.
This is the name of the article, and the website is WSWS.org. Very easy. WSWS.org. And it's like the second or third article on the front page. So yeah, so let's scroll back down. I still have that highlighted. That's so important. Right here. Second, it proves the character of the state as an instrument of class rule. Oh my God. That I just want to take a moment here because that is so poignant to me, Nick. Go ahead.
And that's such a great point.
Go
This is why
ahead.
this is why Marx explained that class antagonisms, the battle between the ruling class and the working class, cannot be rectified through capitalist electoral politics and through capitalist governments. Anyway, continue, CJ, because that's such a good point.
Because the point that is being made is that the state, and this is why communism preaches a stateless class, because the state is what's being used to solve the dispute between the worker and the owner, and the state is always siding with the owner class. And then let's use this. Let me go to this quote. Quote, the executive of the modern state, end quote. Marx wrote more than 150 years ago, quote, is but a committee for managing the common affairs of the whole bourgeoisie, end quote. Both parties are coming together with record speed. Can you say, I was going to say that too, like I'm pausing here on the article and I'll read this last two paragraphs. Record speed. I never seen nobody come to no legislation and them get that shit out. I thought the Ukraine shit was fast. This shit right here, Nick. Both parties are coming together with record speed to force through an agreement rejected by workers. Even the social war atmosphere in Washington, where the bulk of Republicans supported an attempted coup to keep Trump in power, has so far proven to be no barrier to bipartisan unity. And I can stop there because it just keeps going on and on. So I'll stop there. Yeah, I'll just stop there. So it's a great article. Go check it out. The Marx's analysis, though, is such a thing that we need to point out for people to see that. You see how they're saying the entire nation would be shut down economically, it would be a catastrophe. So why isn't the approach, Nick, then why don't you fucking owners give them whatever the fuck they want so this shit don't go down? Exactly. Why isn't that the reply? You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. I'll pass it to you for any last words.